I also didn't find it in my library as a DVD to borrow.
There's probably a reason.
I think. At least I
Can
think
you imagine?
I couldn't find it.
Little Timmy comes up, Mom, I want to watch Lost Highway. Oh, is this about cars? Sure.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse, and Itisdpayne.
Nice.
Is that your phone case?
Yes.
There you
All
go.
the way from China. I don't know what the heck these things are. I just punched my mic.
Sorry, audio
But yeah.
listeners.
It's all good. They made it through the episode of me like coughing because I don't have a mute button.
Oh yes, my mic comes with the top mute button, so whenever I was like sneezing and stuff, that's true.
Yeah. So that's I have a nice little setup here, but I don't have a way to like mute things. So yep.
Good luck, everybody.
Yep.
Also, good luck to anybody that is a major fan of David Lynch, because
Are you okay?
I get it, but I don't get it. Is how
don't
I'll
wanna
open
get
this
it.
episode.
I don't want to get it. It's like, okay, so Hop and I may have just spent like the past hour, well, probably close to 40 minutes, like discussing reactions that we're going to
Share.
discuss
Yeah.
again. Welcome to the behind the scenes of our John Janskis. But yeah, I can see why at least like it is a very different experience from the straight story to this.
Like, I can see Eraserhead to this.
Yes.
But at the same time, like, I really like Eraserhead, and I was excited. And then this, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I am not the target audience for this movie, which, again, fine by me. I don't have to be the target audience for every movie that we watch. But
No, you should be.
gasp. Please.
That's what Hop tells me. She yells at me when we're off camera. She's like, you better make sure every movie is for me. And I'm like, yes, ma'am.
That's why we're not watching Blue Velvet. I mean,
I know.
you said the warnings were applied to both of us, though. So,
Yep. I also, between the time making this list, forgot all the warnings. So it's like there was something in there that I remember seeing, and I don't remember what it was.
that's okay. But yeah, so I just hope you roll the dice higher than me today, because I'm tired of giving descriptions,
No.
Grandpa.
No, you earned this. Woman power.
Not in this movie. Maybe. I don't know. I feel like some people might argue that she's a strong female character, but I don't know. Yeah. And I know that's kind of the point of his movies, right? You're not supposed to know.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like watching, like, because I've heard a bunch about Lynch and his movies, but I feel like for most of my experience with Lynch is Twin Peaks, which that had to be on TV. So, like, I'm seeing the strangeness and the weirdness, but it also has to be contained because it's going on TV. So,
Like the censorship and everything that has to,
Yeah.
like, still exist around TV at that time. TV now is a
Yes.
bit different, especially with streaming services and things like that, but
I will say I think I like Lynch TV weird. I don't know how I'm feeling. I liked Eraserhead. I liked Eraserhead weird. Mm-hmm. This movie, I don't think this is my type of weird, and
it's a little too close to Eyes Wide Shut.
that yes,
Yeah, I guess that's what I understood the point of a lot of the imagery, but then when it's the only imagery, I was like, it doesn't feel artistic anymore. It feels like, I don't know, it's not shocking anymore. It's not surprising anymore if it's just like the regularness of it, which again, maybe that's the point of it, about like the desensitization about it. But it doesn't feel disgust in that way. It just feels like it's, I don't know. I'm scared that these are gonna fall into film bro movies where someone's gonna mansplain to me what I should have gotten from the movie.
Well, that's why I'm here.
But
No.
I think it's fine to interpret a movie in different ways, especially something like a Lynch movie, because there is no perfect interpretation. But if I watched it and I didn't vibe with it, then that should also be fine.
Like, we kind of ripped
Wes Anderson.
Yeah, like I feel like everyone I hear talk about him likes him. I don't think we did have the one commenter, I'm blanking on their name, that was like, no, finally someone said this about Moonrise Kingdom.
Because like a lot of the implications in Moonrise Kingdom could have been done without putting actors at the age of 12 in like a weird setup.
Can you imagine this movie done with Wes Anderson? The guy who has like, there's no mystery. Everything has to be tied up.
But then that'd be frustrating in a completely different reason.
Yes. Especially for Wes Anderson. He's like, there's no kids. What am I supposed to do?
That's horrible in the context of this movie.
That's why I said it.
My eyes went wide. They did not go shut.
Yeah. No, I did, also watching this movie, I did get Eyes Wide Shut vibes. But it's like, I don't know. It's because like Eyes Wide Shut
is about a man obsessed with a woman in unhealthy levels.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it was like, but it was like, I didn't get the because they're almost about the same. No, Eyes Wide Shut is 2.5 hours, right?
This was like 2 hours and 10 minutes. So it's not that much of a.
It's not too far away, but I'm like, I don't know. I guess I didn't get like, there was certain gross feelings that I was getting from Eyes Wide Shut, but with Lost Highway, it was like a different type of gross feelings. Like, just like, how long am I gonna have to watch this, like the same scene? But anyway,
yeah. For anyone, if you have already been disheartened by the discussion we're already kind of starting out here, what I'll say is I really liked the first 50 minutes, and I happened to I chose for myself to watch this in like chunks because of the way that my timing was this weekend. So Friday, I watched the first 50 minutes, and I went, I think this is a good pausing point. And I guess I was psychic, because as soon as I started the movie again, I was like, this feels like a different movie, and I don't like this one.
Let's see, because there was something
I messaged you the what scene is happening, like, right as I was pausing it.
Yes, but I was like, what was it? Oh, yeah, there was like... You know, maybe I'll save the warning I sent you
for Spoiler Town,
because it was just like, it was pretty funny, because it's like, it's not a normal warning I give you.
No, and because I was like, yeah, I thought that was uncomfortable. You went, oh no, buckle up. I was like, oh goody, yeah. Yippee, my favorite.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, if he's telling me. Like, and it's not the normal things.
Yeah, so for anyone curious about when it comes to warnings, because we have talked about, like, if you've listened to some of our other Lynch episodes about us, like, you know, not including certain movies, I guess my two biggest warnings, I would say, is, like, animal harm on screen, to which some of these movies have had them, but some of them I've watched with Strider, so thankfully, like, I cover my eyes. I'm like, just tell me when the scene's over. Especially, was it Moonrise Kingdom, where it was, like, a really long time of it on screen?
I think so.
Jojo
Rabbit also had one.
But it was very scripted, so I could, like, listen for audio cues with my eyes closed. And then the other thing is, like, I would say... sexual harm on screen is also something that, like, so, like, technically Lost Highway doesn't fall under it, because Lost Highway, it's consenting adults. There is one really terrible scene, but that one was, that one's dicey in and of itself, but in the context of the movie, but it's just a lot. So I guess if you we're going to probably start rolling our dice and doing things. If you are curious about this movie, do be sure to watch it if you are comfortable with lots of adult scenes with full nudity.
And various sound levels.
Varying sound levels. At least when we watched it on archive.org.
Yes.
We didn't find it on really any other streaming services.
Mm-hmm.
I also didn't find it in my library as a DVD to borrow.
There's probably a reason.
I think. At least I think
you imagine?
I find it.
Little Timmy comes up, Mom, I want to watch The Lost Highway. Oh, is this about cars? Sure. And then...
Yeah, is this the Cars animated film, Mom?
Mm-hmm. Sure, whatever, honey. And then it's just Dad comes home. What are you watching?
It's like, oh,
Lightning McQueen.
Oh, the song's "Life is a Highway," not "Lost Highway."
Yes.
But in any case, are you ready to roll some dice?
Yes.
So
I lost. There it is. Okay. Well, go ahead. Give the intro.
Yeah. If you are new here, Dpayne and I play a lot of tabletop role-playing games, so any excuse to roll more dice is always fun for us. In this particular series for 2025, we've been watching a different director per month, so that's 12 different directors. So we roll a 12-sided dice. Whoever rolls highest gives a about 2-sentence non-spoiler summary of the movie, and then we'll go into some questions before we go into Spoiler Town, and you'll be very much warned before we head that way.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I want to ask, because normally I always roll this die, my black and red die.
Okay. Did you find another D12 for
I have this one next to me. So I will ask you, should I roll the normal or should I roll the ocean die?
You have not given a summary for 5 episodes.
I'm making you choose, so that way
it's in my hands.
Yes.
I choose
the result is your fault.
The new dice.
Okay.
I don't like this laugh.
I rolled a 1.
Oh, goody. It's me again, because I rolled a 5. I thought my chances were pretty decent. Can you roll your usual die and let me know?
Yeah, I was going to roll that and find out. I rolled another 1.
They knew you didn't want to talk about this movie.
They knew that you really wanted to talk about it. Here, should I just find a whole nother D12?
You got your jar of dice?
Yeah, right here.
Shake it for the audio listeners. Zoom said, no, that's too noisy. And cut it out for me.
Not my audio. That's... Oh, here's Stinky Cheese. These dice always roll well. Well... It has another 1, but it's an 11.
All right, Stinky Cheese is next week's dice.
Okay, I'm going to put the ocean die away. Oh, I keep looking for this. I need to make sure that thing still works.
All right, are we ready for me to start the summary?
I found Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah, we should watch that again. That's another weird set of media, but it's a very... I guess it was on TV. So
it's TV weird.
TV weird.
That's... Yeah. Okay. Hey, at least next year, we can only... Well, I guess we can only blame ourselves, but it's just for this as well, but...
Oh, yeah, I guess we could also announce, like, if anyone wants to be able to throw in suggestions for next year's prompts... Yes. I know we've had some people comment and interact with us about different movies we've been watching, and that's pretty awesome. And we wanted to give you guys an opportunity to help us build out kind of like our watch list for next year. We are setting up some prompts for us to do movies, and think of it kind of like our bookish episode where they can be weirdly specific. Some examples we were thinking of, like things adapted from other things. Or it could be as specific as, what's one of the sillier ones that we were considering? Needs to have a giant creature is one that you wrote in. But yeah, if you want to comment any prompts for some fun prompts you think could be for movies for us next year, we're still finalizing those, so we'll take more suggestions. But I think the idea is we're going to spin a wheel, and each of us comes with a movie that we watch to fit the prompt, and we yap about it.
Mm-hmm.
Something
I'm just making sure we didn't miss any comments.
Oh, smart.
We didn't. I'm also glad that I actually was ahead of schedule and have next week's episode.
Look at you. So prepared.
Yeah. If anyone's wondering, it was Eraserhead. I'm like, what was the first movie we watched for Lynch? But anyway, enough stalling. What is this movie about?
It's a wonderful question, Itisdpayne. Start putting in Jeopardy noise.
I feel like maybe, well, this won't work for next year, but maybe we should have like had a veto card where it's just like, I don't want to do this one.
Yeah, next year we kind of both have to come with each of our summaries.
Yeah. That's why it will be our fault. Like,
we picked the movie for ourselves. But yeah, so if I had to give a description about Lost Highway, I guess the best way I would think of describing it is... I don't know. What?
I feel like that's going to be the cold open.
Imagine if woman so hot, do anything for her.
And 9 Inch Nails.
A lot, yeah. And then there's other music I also recognize outside of 9 Inch Nails and things like that. There's Rammstein played throughout it as well.
That was multiple times. It was just like, oh, is this why these songs got big?
I don't think Rammstein in particular. I think they were plenty big before this.
I don't know. But it's just, I just wasn't expecting it.
Mm-hmm. Like the soundtrack is not bad, but in any case, yeah. I feel like that was my take on what a core of this movie is. It's about sexual attraction and what it does to people.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting because like I know I said this off camera to Hop, but pretty much I will say it on camera as well because we have 2 more Lynch films after this. I feel like I don't have enough time to fully. Like, I feel like I need to do research after watching these films to have the conversations we're about to. And so someone came up with a different theory that from what you said. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, I could see the framework of how they put that together. So yeah, I'm like, I think I specifically told you, I was like, yeah, I feel like I need to watch these movies like a second time now that like the shock factor is gone, to be like, okay, what is the actual like kind of story and get through there. But I don't got the time or the mental strength to watch these movies.
What, you don't have a master's in film critique?
No, I have a BS in film. Anyway, if this is the only movie of Lynch that you have watched, would you watch the rest of his catalog?
I don't think so.
Not even the straight story?
That one is a very straightforward story. But no, yep. I mean, like I said, I don't know if it's just because the lens and personal views on like society and how it treats women, and that's how like I have no urge to explore this movie any further. It could be a me thing, but yeah. Mm-hmm. What about you?
Oh no, I wouldn't watch anymore. Yeah, it was just like, and the stuff that we'll get into is next, like the next in Spoiler Town. I'm just like, there's things that I thought was like the first chunk of the movie, there was a lot of interesting stuff, and then I felt like the interesting stuff fizzled out in the second half, where I do think like we see some of the stuff that I think he's known for, but yeah, I don't know. It was an experience. But yeah, I don't think I would watch the rest of their catalog unless there was something that like, I don't think it would be like Wes Anderson where I'm like, absolutely no. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, if there was something that he was, I think if there was something interesting, like if he put out a film, he can't anymore, but if he put out a film that I was interested in, that like, I think I would be a little bit more interested in checking it out. While Wes Anderson, I'm just like, no.
Yeah, like I wouldn't say that this movie would turn me off. Like,
it's a soft no.
Yeah, like there's a lot. It's one of those tricky things. I think I've felt like this way about some of the A24 directors we watched, where I was like, I can tell that they have a really good eye, but I don't like this story.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's fair.
How much did you root for the characters?
I rooted for, I don't know, is he the Grim Reaper?
Oh,
Whoever he is. Yeah.
There's characters I felt bad for.
Yes. Plenty of those.
Yeah. Especially, I forget her name, but like teen girlfriend
Sylvia,
or
Cynthia, something like that. Well, I can look it up. Celia? IMDb.
Yeah. So I was like, she gave the reaction that I felt like a lot of people gave the reaction to. It's just like, all you do is go around and, as they would say in the old times, have whoopee.
I also recognize a lot of people in this movie, more than I anticipated.
Yeah, there was that was the other thing. I'm like,
Sheila was the girlfriend.
Sheila sounds like somebody's like, Sheila. But yeah. So was that. But yeah, there wasn't really anybody that I was like, yep, I root for you, buddy, pal. Yeah, because the parents, they were just like, what you doing, man? What are you doing? You different.
Yeah, the constant, like, tell him the truth. And, like, nobody. Whatever.
Nah. Anyway, what grade would you give the plot?
Again, kind of the same thing with Eraserhead. You're just like, what can I give? What is the plot? What grade can I really give it for? Every other, like, most other movies we watch are, like, the plot is a very, like, contained thing that you can examine. Mm-hmm. Like, even something as back and forth as Rashomon, the plot is, you know, the murder mystery and the lying aspect of it. This one, it's just like, I don't know. I mean,
we're here for vibes. Not all of them are comfy.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess my initial grade I would give it is a C minus. It kept me engaged up until a certain part, and then I just, like, I will admit in the later quarter of the movie, I might have been multitasking.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'll land.
That's. I was kind of giving it a C as well.
Yeah.
And how likely would you recommend this movie to others?
I don't know anyone I can recommend it to.
Yeah. I feel like his movies, like, because it's funny, because the more, like, I'm watching his films, I have a cousin who, like, when I was, like, still in high school, he was like, yeah, David Lynch, if you can watch any of his movies, man, he's like my favorite director and all that stuff and everything. He's like, and I just remember going on and on about it. But it was like, at that time, I'm like, I'm just watching Toonami, okay? Like, there wasn't really much of other, like, a bunch of stuff on there that I was like, I wasn't, like, watching a ton of films. Mm-hmm. And, like, now I'm looking at it as, like, why are you telling me
at this age,
at that age to watch Lynch? And it's, I don't know. I don't even remember which movies he mentioned to watch it, but I remember him saying, like, yeah, Lynch is my favorite director. And so it does make a lot of things make sense.
You remembering things about said person?
My cousin? Yeah. So not like, it's not like he's a terrible person. It was just like the way he views things. I'm just like, okay.
Can see it. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. That was a quick questionnaire. So that.
Yeah, there's not a lot to be said in the non-spoilery part because I don't know. It's I think if you mention one thing about the movie, it probably becomes a spoiler unintentionally.
Yeah. You know, it'd be fun to think about is, like, maybe we can do this in, like, the award show. It'd be like, for each director, what would be, like, a movie or a genre that we would want to see them, like, some of them are dead, so they can't. But it's like if we could make them do a certain movie, like a genre or something, what would we like to do? So like we can have the award show, and then maybe we can do that. I should probably write that down because I'm going to forget it.
That is a fun one, though.
Yeah, because I don't think we're gonna have a ton of awards to hand out. But anyway, before we go into Spoiler Town, I can hear the engines beginning to kick up and roar. Shall we let them know what is our stop for next week?
Next week will be us continuing David Lynch, since this is a 5-week month. Mulholland Drive, and you said this is a Lost Highway starts like a LA trilogy, is what the fans call it for Lynch.
Yeah, for that, it seems like the 3 movies that we're watching, and I'm pretty sure if you guys just Google this, you'll find out what the last movie of the series is. But they said it was like this LA trilogy, where I think they just all take place in there, and I don't know if they have similar themes or touch on certain viewpoints. We'll find out. But that's what I think a lot of fans are saying that of his work, that this is kind of like an unofficial trilogy. But yeah, the thing that is cracking me up is I only heard one thing about Mulholland Drive, and it was on a podcast where this guy's like, I watched Mulholland Drive, and what he came out with it was that David Lynch was the devil. So it's like I'm interested to see. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be. I have a feeling it's gonna be an interesting time, because I do think that Mulholland Drive is one of his higher rated movies.
Okay.
Lost Highway, I think from all the reviews I was seeing, was kind of like middle tier. Mulholland Drive was always like in the top 3. Number 1 was always Blue Velvet, but we're not watching that one. So, and what was the last one? As I blind myself, I think the last one that we're watching also is pretty high on a lot of fans' stuff. But we're not here to talk about those films. We're here to talk about the whatever movie we're talking about. I forgot the name of it.
Lost Highway.
That one. Lost on a highway, there's a man with an exploding shed. All right, the timer's going. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Toot, toot.
So what's the other theory about the movie? Do you remember?
Yes. Oh, but first, shall we tell them the warning, the warning stuff that I sent to you?
Yes, the fun warning.
We forgot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as we mentioned earlier, I like if I watch it first. Whenever I watch it, I try to, at least if there's certain things that I notice, I try to let Hop know if I know that she hasn't watched it yet. And so, because most of the time, just doing my schedule, I watch the movie. I have to watch it like
days
a week
ahead of time.
Yeah. And so what I sent is, hey, in case you didn't watch Lost Highway yet, there's like a lot of sex time. Like more than I think we have watched in any movie. And then Hop's response was like, LOL, thanks. Why is my phone lighting up? No, thanks for the warning. I already watched the first 50 minutes. I was like, oh, that scene's still going. And what else did you say? That's when you said you're going to watch it in chunks. And yeah, you paused when he was asking the guards for aspirin. And I was like, yeah, there's more. Like a bunch more. And you're like, oh, goody. And then we kind of talked about how your rabbit didn't like sounds. But yeah, there was that. And as I think you said this when we weren't recording, what was it like? Was it a snuff film you said, or it was just
because there is literally one part towards the end of the movie where they're showing footage inside of a large party of like purposely uncomfortable media, and I think that's the ending portion is what gave me more of the eyes wide shut feeling than anything else, because everything starts to be in a group setting and like the treatment of women I'm just like objectification, sir.
Yeah, always when there's scenes like that, I'm always curious, like the like what is it like on set there where it's just like, okay, yeah, we know we read the thing, and it's like, and the director's like, I wrote it, but I don't know which time to do it. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, I don't want to be there to like see how like those scenes are filmed, but it always like, it makes me wonder. It's just like, all right, now it's time to have the on-camera sex scene where we can't, like, we don't show anything, but everything's seen. I'm like, I don't know. It just feels like it's really awkward where it's just like, all right, you guys pretend to do the thing while I zoom in and get the jiggle physics.
Yeah, make sure to make all the noises. Hey, coordinator, can you make sure their backs look sweaty? Hey, you know what I mean? And then
messed them up.
And like, I appreciate that Hollywood has come to the point where they have intimacy coordinators. This movie makes me feel like that wasn't the regular practice yet.
It's the reason they had.
Because I've seen some TikToks of intimacy coordinators where they discuss like, kind of like, you know, both of us play role-playing games where you come in and say, is there anything that's definitely uncomfortable for you? Is there anything that might cause a reaction that you don't realize might be happening? Like something internalized that you don't realize. Yeah. Or to stop a scene if one of the actors clearly seems to have a negative reaction to the way the scene is set up for past trauma. And then they also show that they have special garments now so that there's like, even though they look nude, there's like, you know...
Oh, yeah.
There's barriers and there's like comfort levels so that the two actors don't actually feel anything. But again, that's modern movie making.
Yep.
What year was this released? Do you remember?
97, I believe.
Okay, so a bit ago.
Let's see if I scroll up. Yep, 97. It was released in January 97 in France. Oh, yeah, if it came out in France first, then they got weird movie thing. I did a college report on horror in France. Wouldn't fly here. but yeah, to answer your original question, the theory was, so when we were with Fred Madison,
the older of the two, okay,
yeah, the saxophonist, the theory was that he had, like, when they're showing their couple time, but yeah, when it's doing all that, it was, and like some of the interactions and all that, he was getting suspicious that she was cheating on him, and like when he goes to that dude's party, I'm forgetting,
the one that he sees in the club hanging out with her, Andy.
Yeah, it's like, and the way like they're interacting with each other, is pretty much the whole thing. Like, it's like the way they're interacting and all these other memories, like in the way they're intimate, like the lack of intimacy. They're just like, he's getting like the suspicions, and that yeah, like the pale old man, I'm blanking on what they said.
Does he have a name?
I don't know.
I don't recall. I can check on IMDb.
Yeah.
I still have it.
But oh no, I was also just thinking, let me just open, because I remember I was reading this on my phone, so let me see if I might still have the article up, just so that way. I like my searches sometimes. What is Lost Highway? But and of course now I can't find. Was it this one?
I think he's just labeled as Mystery Man.
Yeah. Yeah, so anyway, like, pretty much he's having those feelings to the point where it just, like, this theory builds up in his head where it's just, like, that, yes, she was cheating, so he he mentally breaks, kills her, and then is sent to death row. And then the reason why, like, his change in there is like him hallucinating, and just the whole second half of the movie is his hallucinations of getting revenge on the people that like that
He
wronged him and all
assumed.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just like that's why it's like the girl is the whatever her name is, Leslie,
The main girl?
the blonde, the
Alice is the blonde.
Alice, yeah, where it's just like okay, she's like she is the same person, but it's like oh man, that's why like he's drawn to her and like all this stuff. And it's like what the person was saying, because I can't find it, but it was just like they were trying to he was like living out his fantasies, which is why there's a ton of like sex that is shown and just like going around doing all that. But then also near the end where he kind of gets revenge against this person who was using or corrupted his wife or whatever, and the guy who was also just like the old man, the other dude, and just like he gets like all this revenge. And then at the very end, when he kind of like it shows like the light in him like freaking and shaking out, that they're like that's when the electric chair went off.
Okay. I could
So
see that
like,
as well.
yeah, it's like I could see that, but I agree with you. I feel like Lynch makes his movies where it's not like it's open for a lot of people to interpret.
Yeah, for me, the reason I said that in summary, it seemed to me to come off as a movie of what sexual attraction will do to a person, is I kind of interpreted it as, so he is presented as a saxophone player in the very beginning. He's in a jazz club. He sees people all the time, right? My interpretation based on the final photo that you see, where it's Mr. Eddie Andy, and who they say is like her name was never Alice, it was always Renee. Mm-hmm. My interpretation was that the main character had built up in his head that he was in a relationship with her, and it was all a fantasy from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
that
can see it, yeah.
because the other reason I bring it up is because in the beginning you have the scene of him like anxiously smoking and being freaked out by the buzzer system, and it's him again going to the buzzer system and calling the buzzer. Mm-hmm. So almost as if like, and he does the thing where he's like, I had nightmares that you were calling for my help, but you weren't my wife in the room. And then that whole break of like he's always called her Alice this whole time, and then at the end you get, oh, she's actually Renee. So I took it as like he built up a fantasy life because he saw a woman that he fantasized about while he was in his saxophone fugue state. But she was with Andy, and she was intimate looking with Andy inside of that particular in the club. And then, like, they go to Andy's party and everything, and she is still close with Andy and everything at the party. And then at the end, the photos are of Mr. Eddie and Andy and all of them together. So, yeah, that's how I kind of, like, interpreted it was him, like, stalking someone that he was infatuated with but didn't actually have a life with. He had made up a life with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I can see that. Like, I don't really have any opinions. I was just like, oh my goodness, what the heck did I just watch?
Also, seems like a classic thing to take away from, like, Lynch.
Yeah. So, it was interesting. Like, I think the more I'm watching him, the more I'm realizing, like, people who I listen to, like, podcasts that do TTRPG stuff, especially, like, Delta Green, which people who don't know what Delta Green is, it's Call of Cthulhu-esque but modern day. Like, I see a lot of inspiration from Lynchian films in certain genres of TTRPGs.
Okay.
And so not all, and but it's just like a certain subset of like, I guess, content creators that do that, and it's not always like the same, but it's like the way it's kind of got that like almost dreamlike, like what the dump is going on. So I do find it interesting watching these films and seeing the inspiration where certain things are coming from. I don't know. I also think it's interesting to like having Twin Peaks be my only
Your frame
introduction
of
to him.
reference. Yeah.
Yeah. And seeing how like certain things like he still kind of pulls in from and does that. And it kind of makes me want to watch Twin Peaks again. But it's it's like no, it's always been that kind of style.
Yeah, I'd say like me having watched Eraserhead, then like these movies are kind of my expectation. But what I do have to say is I'm curious if I would have found it more impactful if Lost Highway was also in black and white.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like the thing that I know color is really important for was, in my mind at least, was the nail polish, because the nail polish seemed to be different phases in which the character's infatuation with the female leads were. Because like there was a lot of focus done on the when he believes that they're married, or it's set up that they're married in the first 50 minutes, which I said I really liked the first 50 minutes. I was like, ooh, are we getting a full horror film? And then that bit ended and I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, because the wife in there, she has fully black nail polish, right? Mm-hmm. And then when Peter is with Sheila post solitary confinement and, like you said, the death sentence, you have that girlfriend also has the black nail polish. But the time spent with Alice when she's blonde, she has, I think, at one point white nail polish. Another time, it's made significant that she has like a bright green nail polish and everything like that. But I think, and then there's the really obvious symbology of Peter seeing the Black Widow spider and then killing all of the men in Alice's life for her while she's nowhere to be found again.
She's hiding.
In the shed. The shed with the secret tunnel.
She was the old man.
The mystery man.
Yeah. I want to see if I can find... Because they did talk about that. I might have just clicked on the wrong article now if my phone would. Maybe was this the one? Oh, maybe this is the one I clicked... Oh, I just clicked on the same thing. Yeah, the other thing I heard people say was that there were certain aspects that was it felt like it was inspired by the OJ
the
trials. Yeah.
Okay.
Like especially with him saying no, I'm innocent and all that stuff. Oh man, I'm trying to find.
They do have a couple sentences where they specifically call him a wife killer. Things like that, so that makes sense with that time period.
Yeah,
did not drive a Ford Bronco though.
Okay, here we go. This is what somebody else said about the mystery man, and he is the well, I can't talk. He is the physical manifestation of the idea of killing Renee. That's what some people are saying, because it's like whenever I think he kind of shows up whenever like he doesn't feel like when feelings are shifting or like he's getting suspicious of that. Like
he seems to show up. The reason I called him like a Grim Reaper is I think he generally was just there whenever death appeared on screen, because he's present right before, like you said, the killing of the wife. He's present for Peter. I'm trying to remember which scene it was. Was it the phone calls? Yeah, because he's talking to Mr. Eddie on the phone. Mr. Eddie passes the phone to him while Peter's like
Yeah.
trying to escape, and then inadvertently ends up killing Andy. And then he's also present when Mr. Eddie is killed by Fred. Yippee! A whole bunch of people swip swapping places. Easy to keep track of, not confusing at all. And then there is also the scene. I mean, I could see why people say that specifically, though, because there is the one scene where Renee has his face. Renee/Alice.
Yeah.
I think technically her name, it's Renee.
That whole scene just cracked me up, where it's just like...
The Flash.
Yeah, it's just like how he's in... her whole face is in shadow. I will say, like, even though, like, it's the whole stuff there, especially in, like, the first half, and even, like, there's certain parts in the second half where... there's like really good like visuals. I can't think of the actual word. Like before they flash the mystery man person like on Renee's face, it's like like the light is like casting behind her, so her whole face is in shadow. And I was like, I'm like, I don't know. I felt like that all on its own is its own creepiness. So like I thought that was interesting, especially I thought that shot was pretty neat. I thought the shot that there was like a couple of different things, like when he's like kind of as Pete, I think that's the name, his younger self.
The younger version, yeah, Peter.
Yeah.
Pete.
When he's like his like brain is like freaking out like by like, what does this mean, what's going on, and it's just like it felt like I was watching like an industrial music video.
Yeah. But, for sure, with all the bugs hitting the lamps
and the bugs and like the
warping.
Yeah. So like there was some of that stuff I thought was pretty cool. And I thought anytime it showed the the shed or the cabin in the desert
reverse
exploding, and like the sound like also like in reverse, like that whole scene, it was just like, I'm like, well, he's gonna get there eventually. I don't know what's gonna happen, but it's pretty neat. And then it's like every time it's like he comes out, like the mystery man, Doom Reaper man's just there. And then they're like best buds. I wasn't expecting that. They were like best buddies, and then he disappeared. But yeah, there was something else. Oh, and yeah, there's a couple scenes with Alice that I thought was like the nail polish. Like I think it's the like green one where it's like almost like glow in the dark, like because the whole scene's dark, and it's just like, because I remember sitting there just, I'm like, her nails are shining. Like
very
what is
shiny,
going?
yeah.
I was like, I don't know what radioactive material she put on her hands, but it's like she ain't losing her fingernails.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, and I think there's a lot of attention brought to that, and I think like I said, like there's a lot of things in it, like I mentioned, like when it's this much sexual intercourse in a movie, how much is it like, how much does it symbolize anything anymore, or how much is it just the director doing whatever, they're like, I'm curious how much I can put in here before people get upset with me. But yeah. I think the scenes that I think will stick with me a lot, like the way that they're shot, is the phone calls between Peter and Alice, where all you see of her is like the light across her mouth and her like barely whispering loud enough to be heard through the phone.
Yeah.
And I was like, where is she? Is she in the trunk of a car? Like,
yeah, I was about to bring that up as well, or it's just like how like it's just shadow and all you see is like her lips, and it's just like, it's like the close up of her lips and all that, and then I remember just sitting there and it's just like, okay, it's really easy, and then just like word vomits the whole like plan out, and I'm like, I already forgot what she said.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Make sure you go to Andy's. He has this particular type of bar. Make sure you don't drive. Make sure you take the bus. Make sure. Yeah.
And it's just like, and I'm like, I need you to write that down and what was it? Write it. I forgot the 3 things.
For the auditory processing.
Yeah.
Like if you write it down, you record it for somebody as well, and then be willing to repeat things for people. But yeah, it's just I don't know, like I think, like I said it in the beginning when you asked the question, would I watch more of his catalog? Like, he has such a good eye for like the director of photography kind of like lens of things, where like the phone calls, I can kind of imagine being on the other side of the phone call, and Peter, being the kind of character he is just imagining her lips as she talks, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's not paying attention to her as a person because he has all of this desire for like the physical attraction he has for her. So it makes a lot of sense from that prospect, especially given the fact that when he talks on the phone with Mr. Eddie, he's just like, I know what Mr. Eddie looks like. Like, he just like imagines Mr. Eddie in full. But I do have to say, Peter needs to start thinking with his brain more, because you saw Mr. Eddie get mad at someone passing him on the highway and was willing to like run him off a mountainside, and was like, but you know what? I should be physically intimate with his wife. Like the levels of like Mr. Eddie doing something terrible. I feel like having his spouse being the person that like ruins his relationship, he would be much worse to you than just the guy that was like, honk honk, I want to pass you on this road.
Yeah.
Of course, and Mr. Eddie made it about being altruistic. Do you know how many people died on the highway because of your reckless driving? Mr. Eddie, you were also
Did you see driving. What you just did? That whole scene cracked me up because it was just like he let him go, and then it was like obviously sped up footage because it was just like, I'm like, the car went like, yo. I'm like, what the? It's interesting here on Wikipedia. They actually have 3 different people's like interpretations, which I think is a little bit different.
Yeah, if you want to read through them.
Or
are they kind of long?
They're not. I scanned through the first one and the other one. Like, I scanned through them, but it's like the first one that they have is like, because it's a circular narrative, that it's like into a Mobius strip.
Okay.
And it's apparently Lynch described this movie as a psychogenic fugue. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that word right.
That's right.
And it's like, that's pretty much what this film is supposed to be like, rather than, which, hey, it's purposely abstract and left for the audience to interpret. So that's why I guess in interviews and stuff, he does not advance a specific interpretation.
Yeah, but in that paragraph, I see it now that someone asked him if it's a time loop, and he said, yeah, you could see it like that. It's like, cool. But it does seem like a little bit more confirmation than none. Yeah.
And then there's another one that's after that where pretty much, Fred Mason is experiencing his own psychogenic fugue, where he's transferring to Pete. I think this is closer to what I think I saw people were talking about, where it's like, it's just, where this person just, I don't know who, I feel like they are just brought up a completely different person there. Wait, Arquette. She was one of the,
that's the Renee. Main lead female, yeah.
Where her just interpretations, like, to her it's a movie about looking at a woman through the eyes of a misogynist. He's totally obsessed, pretty much close to what you were saying. Can't have him, can't kill her enough times, and he hates women, but he doesn't quite trust her, even though she's his wife. She kills her but can't remember it, and then recreates himself as a very young man and meets her again, and then pretty much explains the rest of the movie, like, where it's just like who she is less in his mind.
Yeah, it's a pure objectification of, he's like, as much as these like men that are strong misogynists want to be with women, they can't help but be told and believe that women are not to be trusted, or like are there to like manipulate you, and women are all these terrible things, but they are like, they want to be with women. And then that spirals into this hateful relationship of like, oh, I didn't like what she said that one time, she must be lying to me, she must be a Black Widow, she, no, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So that makes, I can see that, especially with her as the main lead. That's a pretty interesting take. That's probably why she took the role, because doing that much full frontal can't be fun if you don't believe in the movie.
Or I don't know, however much. He's like, you're not paying me enough. Oh, okay, now you are. No. I don't know.
I was gonna make that. That's. I was gonna say that's probably the part. Like, there's the one scene where Peter's like, "Why would you take this job?" It's like, what you said exactly. Well, maybe they paid her enough to stand there for hours waiting until Mr. Eddie was like, "All right, next step."
And then the last paragraph, which is a different one, which I think is kind of closer to the one that I read online, where it's just like, which actually, no, I think it's maybe a little bit of both, because there is a line that even the detectives, when he's talking to like how, whatever the main character's name, Fred, like, they're just like, do you remember this happening? He's like, he says something pretty much, and he's like, I choose what I want my memory to remember, or something like that. And they're just like, what? It's like, what does that even mean? And it's just like, where it's just like, no, like what he, like, he's not going to accept like truth or reality or whatever it is. It's just like, no, it could change. Who knows what my brain's thinking. It's like, that's the wrong thing to say to when you have detectives in your house. But yeah, that, I think it was like kind of based off of that, where it's just like he is like reshaping his memory while kind of having all his insecurities and stuff come out. So, but yeah, the fact that, and I'm pretty sure if we go do more than a couple pokes on the internet and stuff, there's probably like a ton more,
a wild amount of theories. Yeah,
which I do think is interesting, like compared to all the directors that we watched up at this point. Like, even though it's like, yeah, we're not like the visuals and everything in this movie as the stop, like the visual and everything is just like, okay, that was a lot, but oh, I just saw something. I'll say that in a second. I think it does speak to how Lynch's mind and his co-writers and like the way they shoot this movie, to the fact that it's like, he's like, no, I'm not giving you a reason or a definition for this movie. But it's, yeah, overall it's like, no, like, find your own meaning. But once again, I just saw this at the end. Originally, Lynch wanted to shoot Lost Highway in black and white. Yeah. But the idea was discarded due to financial risks it could cause.
Boo. I said that. I thought it would be more impactful in black and white.
I said, nevertheless, the film was shot in varying levels of darkness and featuring few daylight scenes. So some of the sequences became so dark that it was difficult for viewers to see what was happening.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess Deming was the editor or something, and he's like
I think it says director of photography in one of the credits.
But he is quoted, or she, because it's just their last name. The thing I wanted to achieve was given the feeling that anything can come out of the background, and to leave a certain question about what you're looking at. The film is working under the surface while you're watching it. And I think the best example of that happening is when they come home from the party, and like Renee's in the bathroom kind of getting like all washed up and ready for bed, and I'm forgetting her name, Fred is like this like doing whatever, and like he kind of looks down this dark like hallway, and I'm like, to where you can't even see the end, and like he just kind of waddles down into the darkness, and then later Renee's like, Fred.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's the scenes with like, per the name of the movie, the Lost Highway Hotel itself has a lot of creepy hallways. I looked up, so Deming is Peter Deming. He's best known for his works in horror and comedy films. Funnily enough, in 1997, he's credited with Lost Highway, Austin Powers, and Scream 2. What a varied, like... Oh, he's also doing the cinematography in Mulholland Drive. I see that in his credits. And then what's the third one in the air quotes trilogy? Inland Empire.
Yes.
Let me see. This one is Lynch's also cinematography on.
Which one? Sorry.
The last one that we're watching.
Okay.
So that will be a little bit different. But at least the cinematography between Lost Highway and Mulholland Drive, it's the same person with credits.
Yeah. I was just looking through the trivia to see if there was anything fun. But I feel like it's a lot of stuff that we... Oh, that's cool. Bill Pullman's really playing the saxophone during that scene.
Yeah, I've played saxophone. That's a lot of frantic noises he was making.
I used to play saxophone as well. I hated it. Oh, apparently he did not know how to play before signing on the part and learned only to play that particular solo.
That makes sense.
And also that I was like, man, that's an epilepsy warning right there watching the beginning of that.
Yeah. Can I say there was something I was hoping would happen but didn't happen?
Go ahead.
When the saxophone was playing on the radio and Peter was having a physical reaction, I was half hoping like his face would redevelop the scars it had when he first like appeared on screen in the movie, because they had that whole bit where he's like, "What happened to you, man? You look like someone beat you up." I thought that would have been really cool. And then I also thought about it. I was like, it would also be really cool if it was like, I forget the name of the sci-fi series, but where the people's heads explode. I would have thought that would be really entertaining.
Scanners?
Yeah. Because, like, Eraserhead, plenty of things explode all the time.
Yeah.
Why not?
Budget constraints.
And also, it would have cut out a lot of the sex in the movie. What?
We can't have that. We need at least another half hour of it.
Ah! But in any case, in summary, I know some of the other movies, sometimes we kind of wrap it up with, like, our final thoughts on it. I think if you like this movie, that's fine. I don't have anything against you. I think if you relate to either of the male main characters in this movie, then please don't talk to me or approach me.
The Grim Reaper?
If you consider him a main character and not Peter or Fred.
I align most with, as I forget all the other characters in this movie, I feel like the bus. I am the bus. I'm here for 2 seconds and I'm like, I don't even know I'm here. Bye.
I'm one of the socially awkward people at Andy's party that's like, what am I doing here? It's really loud. Can I go home yet?
Yeah. It's like, I don't even want to be here.
Because some of those extras were like, all right, pretend you're at a party. And they're just like, ha ha ha. Because extras.
Yeah. Rhubarb. Yeah. I don't know. The only other line that I thought was kind of silly, that was in the beginning, where it's just like, after he's crying for, when he changes into Pete, he's just like, they're like, sorry, you ain't gonna believe this. What? Come look. And it's just like, why can't you just say? And
yeah, those pair of investigators, I was kind of just like, I don't know, from the beginning of the movie when they're introduced, where they're like, I don't know, use your alarm system, duh. And it's like, okay, but like, they seem concerned. You could like be a little bit nicer to them. But I mean, their characters were the same throughout the movie. Like you said, they had various sidelines like, man, He's real busy.
Yeah, just yeah. They're like, I could see it in there. It's just like someone's like, let me put this so that way people laugh, and I'm like, I'm not laughing.
I'm trying to understand everything else happening. I don't need these two making sidebar comments right now.
Yeah, and then there's was Gary Busey the ginger dead man?
Yes.
Yeah, maybe this is
his dismissive father. That's just like,
yeah.
Look, son.
I'm not gonna finish any of my thoughts.
Someone called you.
Yeah. I'm only paid for this much.
I'm paid for exactly 50 words in the script.
Yeah. And then, yeah, Sheila was just, I thought she was going to kill him.
Yeah. She got a pretty short end of the stick.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so anyway, that is, we are on the train leaving Lost Highway as we get ready to visit our next stop, Mulholland Drive, where my only information about this movie is that someone watched it and thought that it was made by the devil. So that's gonna be fun.
Imagine if they watched Lost Highway.
I don't know if they did, but I don't think they did. I'm trying to remember because they're on they're like they're part of a different like entertainment group stuff, and pretty much his co-host convinced him to watch a different movie by Lynch, and I don't remember what it is. Let's see if I click on Lynch. Maybe they convinced him to watch Eraserhead. I can't remember. Pretty much, I think at the end of it, like he was like, he really liked whatever he watched. So, but I don't remember what it was. So, I'm being very helpful. Any poops, that is it, and we will see you guys next time for more Lynch. Bye.